Hey guys, I'm Mark, and if you're like me, you might have had a really hot summer this year, and it's getting into midsummer now, and you might have lost a plant or two here and there. Maybe you lost your patio plant or a hanging basket. Well, today I want to put together a video to show you a quick, easy, simple, inexpensive solution to get your patio pot back up and going again. You can see to my right, I've got what was a hanging basket. I just took the hanger off in order to save time for sake of this video. But if you're going to take the hanger off, don't cut it off. Go ahead and get underneath and you can sort of feel around. It's got these little clips to it. Some of the old-fashioned baskets have wire that go down and just twists around. But if you don't cut this off, then you can go ahead and reuse the hanging basket when you're done. Sprinkle some seeds in there for the fall or something fun. But anyways, I'm using this as this hanging basket as an example. The thing that I'm going to show you, or the method that I'm going to show you, can also be applied to just about any size or shape pot that you would want to go ahead and try to plant up into a planter like that. First step you're going to want to do is take your pot off the bottom of your hanging basket. It might have a tray in there. In this case, the tray came out with it. Set this aside. Now, the way that I used to do this is I would just go ahead and try to set that plant in here, and I'd use my hands and I'd kind of feel around, and I'd take handfuls of potting soil here and there and try to shove it in and get all the gaps and air gaps. Well, this way is a whole lot simpler and a whole lot easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mold. I'm just going to take the old pot that was in, sit it down, make sure that it's about the right height in there. I might have to take out just a little bit more in this case. You get it dead center, nice and perfect. And then here's the trick, is you just go ahead and stuff all the surrounding potting soil down around the pot. It's important that the potting soil is a little bit moist when you do this because it molds a lot better. The consistency of the potting soil that might come in like a brand new bag of potting soil, usually it's a little bit moist, like fresh, brand new out of the bag. That should be sufficient, but a little extra water is not gonna hurt. You just don't want it to be like bone dry, so where it would just fall in on itself. I'm gonna add a little bit more around the edge, but not too much. You can see I'm doing this on grass. I like doing these kinds of things on grass because if I spill a little bit of potting soil on the ground, it's trivial. It can just sort of stay there and I don't have to sweep it up or anything. Just one less thing. And you want to make sure that you fill it all the way. Leave about like an inch or two away from the top of the rim. Don't go ahead and fill this pot all the way to the top of the rim, because if you do that and you go to water it, all that water is just going to pour right off the edge. This way, when it's planted up, you can go and just walk up with a whole pitcher of water or a watering can and just dump the whole thing on there and walk away. You don't have to stand there with a little tiny trickle waiting for it to soak in. So that's that part. Now all you got to do is pull that out, and voila, you've got a perfect little area that matches exactly what that root ball is. These hanging baskets are perfect for something like this, especially this time of year, because right now you can go to a lot of nurseries like the one that we have, and they'll have these on sale because a lot of these hanging baskets will be left over from the springtime, and they're starting to get really large like this, and they become pretty difficult from a nurseryman's standpoint to take care of. I mean, these baskets need water every day when they're in a pot like this. So you can get them on sale. In our case, we have them 50% off. I mean, this hanging basket will cost you $12.50. Or you might even just have a hanging basket left over from spring yourself that you're tired of watering every single day, in which case this is a whole lot more soil around it. It's gonna love it. You're gonna love not having to water it all the time. The last and final step, as far as this goes, is you're gonna wanna water it in. Speaking of water, I always like to use water-soluble fertilizer. Just mix up a can of it. It gets all the way down to the root zone. It's available to the entire plant, the entire root system of the plant. You don't have to wait for like granules, in the case of granules, for them to work their way down. This water-soluble stuff just makes contact everywhere, and the plant can use it right away. In the case of petunias and calabricoa and verbena, they're all heavy feeders, so they're going to really like a lot of nutrition. And there you have it. This is going to be a planter that's going to go into fall really nicely. This has petunias, again, calabricoa, verbena. Those are all cold weather loving items. There's even some euphorbia in here. That loves the coldest too. That loves the cold too. That's going to last almost till Christmas in our area. This sun patient that's right here in the middle, this is going to be like the tortoise that wins the race. This is going to go ahead and get much larger. In the fall, it's going to look wonderful. They love the cooler nights. But once we get our first frost, This will die, so you're going to pull that out. Maybe you can stuff something else in there, but all this other stuff will take a frost, and it'll like it for it, actually. But once you have it planted up like that, you know, hanging baskets are made to cascade. That's just what they're designed to do. So after you plant something up like this, it's important to really, you want to, in order to make it shine, you want to get it up high. You want to get it on like a pedestal, or like if you have like a little retaining wall or something like that, get it up high so that it can flow and cascade down. You can see behind me here, I've got a few examples of some planters that I did early in the spring to sell to the greenhouse. And all we do is we put them on upside down 14-inch pots. And they present a whole lot better that way. That's all this is. This planter is it's planted inside of one of these. That's what this is growing in. And then an empty one of these is just flipped upside down and the whole thing sits on there. And you can see how much more of a dramatic effect it has when it's allowed to just sort of cascade and flow down like that. So anyway, that's my video on how to put together a cheap, easy summer planter. I hope that you subscribe if you haven't already, because when you do that, it helps out my channel a lot. It gets me in front of a lot more eyes. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time.